to make old friends. By Incidental Pegasus number 5. No luck, huh? No. With no reason to stay any longer, Fluttershy had left the party and met up with Cloudkicker. The two friends were on their way to dinner. Fluttershy was describing her experience at the gallery. So now what? Go home, I guess. I don't even know where to begin looking for the last pony. We could do that just as well as back there. The other pony. What's he like again? Fluttershy shared as much as he could make out from other Fluttershy's memories about the purple unicorn mare. She might not be like the memories at all, though. The others haven't been, especially not Valencia. What Cloudkicker suggested sounded like other Fluttershy had the better set. Fluttershy couldn't bring herself to disagree. After walking in silence for a while, Cloudkicker asked, So, these other ponies are so different. What about other Cloudkicker? What am I like? Fluttershy froze. She didn't know how to answer that. Going by the memories, other Fluttershy had barely even knew Cloudkicker. She hoped she wouldn't have to say anything about that, but now it looked like she might not have any other choice. Oh, well, Cloudkicker, the thing about that is... It's alright, Fluttershy. I'm not gonna get mad if you tell me she's a jerk or something. No, it's not that. Fluttershy steeled herself for her friend's reaction. I don't... Wait. Cloudkicker pointed her hoof at something. What's that? Fluttershy tried to ask what she meant, but the lavender pegasus had sped up and was squeezing her way through the clouds. It wasn't easy, but she did her best to keep up. Excuse me, sir. I'm real sorry. If we could just get by. Pardon me. Before long, Cloudkicker reached an intersection where ponies were packed so tightly she couldn't force her way through. She took to the air. Fluttershy followed after her, pushing herself to catch up. What are you doing? See that? The Cloudkicker asked, gesturing at something off in the crowd below. Fluttershy didn't. I thought I saw a pony you're looking for back when we passed the library. I've been trying to follow her. Fluttershy looked again and spotted a vibrant purple coat amongst the herd. They flew on, ignoring the stares and exclamations of surprise from the ponies below. Up ahead, the purple coat turned a corner, and the two Pegasi sped up. Cloudkicker rounded the corner at first, and had to stop short to avoid flying into a construction scaffold. Fluttershy wasn't as fortunate, however, and slid right into Cloudkicker's side. Momentarily dazed, the two ponies lost track of the purple coat. They soared above the buildings and split up to search for her. Fluttershy spotted her heading down the street and signaled to Cloudkicker. That's it! Lavender Pegasus so loud. I'm not letting her get away again! She gritted her teeth and pushed herself to fly as fast as she could. Fluttershy tried to keep up, but was never as quick as her friend. Cloudkicker approached where Purple Coat was walking and swooped down in front of her. Excuse me, miss. If I could have a moment of your time... I think I might have mistaken you for somebody else. Sorry about that. When Fluttershy caught up, she realized the reason Cloudkicker's side was grand. First thing Fluttershy noticed about the pony you were following was, Coat-Color's side? There wasn't much resemblance for the pony she was looking for. The second thing that the Fluttershy noticed about the pony was, he was a stallion. In retrospect, that probably should have been the first thing. The Royal Wings was an unpretentious, tri-hand-style pub a few blocks from the hotel. The concierge had recommended it to Cloudkicker as a place with a laid-back atmosphere that served good food and refreshing cider. She thought it sounded like just the thing for Fluttershy after her time at the gallery earlier. He had barely begun their meals. A daffodil and lily sandwich, a tomato soup for Fluttershy, and a hamburger for Cloudkicker, when a booming voice came by over the bar. Hey, CK! What's up? The speaker came over their table. A crew enthusiastic white unicorn. She had a short spiky mane and alternating shades of blue and a pair of linked musical notes on her flank. Hey, Vinyl. Cloudkicker responded, quite surprised to see the new mariner. Vinyl, Fluttershy, this is Vinyl Scratch from Ponyville. Vinyl, this is my friend Fluttershy. She's also my co-worker. Fluttershy interrupted. Cloudkicker gave her a look, but didn't say anything. Ponyville weather, that's us. Nice to meet you, Miss Scratch. Fluttershy wondered why the unicorn was wearing sunglasses, even though it was starting to get out at night, and they were indoors. But she thought it'd be rude to ask. You too, Flutters. Please, my friend's coming, Vinyl. Anyway, Vinyl, what are you doing in Manhattan? I was in the studio earlier, laying out some new tracks. Right now, I'm killing time until Tammy's done with whatever fancy society party she's working at. Some kind of art thing or something. But I thought I could ask you the same question. I came to meet somebody, she explained, glossing over the issue of why they had. She began describing their time in the city. frequently forgetting details, and pretending to seek clarification from Fluttershy. Make sure she wasn't saying anything that might embarrass her friend. When she described the pursuit of the unlucky stallion, she couldn't help but laugh at her own folly. I feel bad for startling the guy, I do, but fortunately he had a sense of humor about it. Didn't mind when I called him a miss. You thought he was? I thought he was this pony we were trying to find. Wasn't enough like her, at least from a distance. She described the stallion, as well as Fluttershy's mysterious unicorn. Makes sense! Finals Grass chuckled. You sound kind of like that my cousin. Fluttershy Cloudkicker exchanged his glasses. Your cousin? Yeah, parents last anyway. It's not like Sparks would ever pull her head out of her books long enough to make it all the way out here. If you don't mind, tell us more about our cousin? Finals Grass frowned. Sure, but I don't know why anybody care. Her name's Sparkle. And she goes to that big unicorn skull at Camelot. You just be wasting your time looking for her, though. Not every pony likes to rock as hard as I do. That's cool, I get that. But the mare's seriously no fun. I mean, at all. You know, folks, this is probably the only fanfic I've ever found in history that decides to make Final Scratch Twilight Sparkle's cousin. First, I had Cloudkicker headed for the main train station as soon as they were finished with dinner. Her train was due to leave for Canterlot soon. They were able to secure a pair of berths. As he searched for the platform, Fluttershy noticed that Cloudkicker looked pensive. Is everything all right? Everything's fine. I was just wondering. Cloudkicker trailed off. She seemed to be debating herself whether or not to say something, or evidently deciding in favor of it. We were talking to Final before. You didn't want me to tell you were my boss. This is the first time I've seen you avoid talking about your job. Don't understand why. Being a town manager is a big accomplishment. It is. But it's not my accomplishment. I'm sure you've heard the rumors. Seems like everybody else on the team has. First I paused, weighing. Cloudkicker responded with a slight, almost embarrassed nod. They're true. I didn't earn the job, and I don't deserve it. Cloudkicker inhaled sharply, rebuking herself for her decision. You shouldn't beat yourself up like that. You're right. I've heard the rumors, and I don't care. What's important is that you're good at your job, not how you got it. At no point did that for you. First I didn't answer. Eager to change the subject, Cloudkicker asked, So, what do you think about this Twilight Sparkle? Could she really be the one you're looking for? I don't know, Fluttershy admitted. That might be really lucky. Yeah, but even if she isn't, the Unicorn School in Canterlot is probably the best place to check. Somebody there will have at least heard of her. I hope. We'll find her. Thanks. Fluttershy's smile returned, and she and Cloudkicker made their way on board, never taking notice of anybody in the crowd at the depot. But there was one who noticed them. What's she doing here? Celestia's School for Gifted Unicorns was located in the heart of Canterlot's historic district. Normally, Fluttershy would have been very hesitant about traveling to Equestria's capital, but after Manhattan, it felt like a welcome respite. Camelot may have been the larger city, but it was less crowded and less claustrophobic. It didn't seem effectively hostile to the idea of nature. Parks and gardens were spread out in harmony with the colorful white-walled buildings. One such park lay before them at an entrance to the school's grounds. On a bench, a pair of unicorn mares sat talking. Sometimes I think double majoring was a mistake, said the one on the left, a turquoise pony sitting in a way that Fluttershy thought looked uncomfortable. I have so little time lately, and when I do, I'm too burnt out to do half of what I like. I can't even tell you the last time I rode the bonbon. The strangely seated pony's conversation was a pony with a coat in a light shade of purple, and a darker purple mane. Cloudkicker made a gesture as to ask, Her? But Fluttershy shook her head. What you would well, music's what you really want to do after graduation, right? Your special talent and all? You could always just drop cryptozoology. First Pony rolled her eyes. Cryptozoology is made up creatures, Sparkler. They're for real, or at least they used to be. Of course they are. Scoff if you like, but I will, Lyra, I will. But my latest research is showing real promise. Sure, just like that research from before was, and the research before that. With that, the conversation came to a halt. Now, neither had entirely stopped smiling, or sensing this was the latest in a long history of friendly sparring over Lyra's unconventional theory, whatever it was. To Fluttershy, this seemed like a good time to interrupt. Excuse me, I was wondering if I had anywhere to find some pony named Twilight Sparkle? Both unicorns reacted with a start to name. Did you just say you were looking for a Twilight Sparkle? Asked Sparkler. Lyra nodded. Are you a friend of hers? First, I wasn't quite certain not to answer that. If Twilight Sparkle really was who she was looking for, then in a way, it did feel like she was her friend. On the other hand, they never actually met. Unicorns were looking at her expectantly. She decided to play it safe. Well, I guess you could say that. Wait a minute. Twilight has friends? Twilight Sparkle? Would you mind waiting here for a few minutes? I need to go find Twinkle-Shine. That pony owes me 5 bits. Sparkler! I was kidding. Mostly. Not about the 5 bits. You can vouch that you met them as she asked, right, Lyra? Lyra ignored the question. Twilight Sparkle's at Galaxy Hall, room 214. Fluttershy nervously stood before the door with a brass nameplate with a 214 engraved on it. This was, hopefully, it. Behind the door lay, quite possibly, the last of the 5 ponies she was looking for. Everything she had tried with the others hadn't worked. This time, she would just be straightforward, explain what was going on. Twilight Sparkle thought she was crazy, then so be it. As a student here, she would probably be better equipped to understand what was going on than any pony. It just didn't work. It had to. It just had to. Fluttershy stilled herself, let out a breath she realized she was holding, and lightly rapped on the door with her hoof. A wordless expressive annoyance came from inside. After a few moments, the door opened. Standing there was a unicorn mare with a bright purple coat. Heavy bags hung below the bloodshot purple eyes that narrowed in irritation as she scowled. The hairs of her mane, likewise purple, stuck out in all different directions, like she had breasted this morning, or possibly at any point this week. Next to her, a large ceramic mug hung in the air, surrounded by a magical magenta aura. Philomena! Fluttershy called the bird's name as she charged down the path from her cottage to Ponyville proper. Twilight sparkled by her side. I don't understand how that bird can move so fast! Scarlet Pony gulped between breaths. Somehow Philomena had put enough distance between herself and Fluttershy's health that the pair of ponies couldn't see her anywhere. A few minutes later, Fluttershy and Twilight Sparkle arrived at the edge of town. Bad news, there was no sign of Princess Celestia's sick pet. Good news, there wasn't a sign of the royal guards either. This is bad, Twilight said. This is very, very bad. We have to find Philomena before anyone else does, no matter what. I'm not going to let one of my friends get banished and then thrown into the desert sea in the place he was banished to! Fluttershy wasn't nearly certain that either banishment or dungeons were going to be as fault as Twilight was. But whatever was going to happen, she would have to deal with it later. There was an animal in trouble, and it needed her. Right now, making sure Philomena is all right is what's important. That's the whole reason I took her. Celestia's telling me I won't be banished for nothing. Fluttershy, listen. If it comes to that, I'll tell Princess Celestia I'm the one that did. She's known me a lot longer. She won't bash me. Probably. Fluttershy was touched, but she wasn't going to let one of her friends sacrifice themselves for her mistakes. There wasn't any time to argue about it, though. Thank you, Twilight. But let's not worry about that unless we have to. Let's just find Philomena. Reluctantly, Twilight agreed. She figured it wouldn't be easy to convince Fluttershy, but he didn't have time to discuss it right now. After several minutes of searching, where Philomena had been spotted more than once, only to give them the slip, Twilight was losing hope. It's only a matter of time before one of the guards spots her. Then it'll be all over. She turned to Fluttershy. Even though I'm probably going to be banished in some desolate wasteland, I can't think of anything I would have done differently. Neither can I. If we're lucky, maybe we'll get banished to the same place. I like that. Fluttershy realized what she just said, but I just to clarify that she wouldn't really be banished or cut off once she was enveloped by Twilight's magical aura and dragged to a nearby bush to hide from the passing guards. This time, Fluttershy's return to reality brought her to the side of a closed door, the 214 plaque staring her in the face. Undeterred, she knocked again. Irritated grumbling could be heard from the other side. Eventually the door opened again, and the purple unicorn stood before her. Oh, you again. Is this just another challenge to a staring contest, or are you actually going to speak this time? Without the intrusion of other Fluttershy's memories, Fluttershy was able to catch a glance at Twilight's room. There were books everywhere. The bookcases were, naturally, filled with books. But there were books on the desk, books on the top of the dresser, books in stacks on the floor, and even books on the bed. Beyond that, there's precious little else to indicate some pony was actually living there. Even the bed had simply a sheet and a pillow. Not for the disarray of the books that were left in, the warrior Pegasus of the pre-classical era would be proud of the room's such history. First, I was so focused on taking everything in. She nearly didn't notice the door beginning to close, as the unicorn muttered something about her time being wasted. Wait, please, I'm sorry. Twilight Sparkle? My name is Fluttershy, and I need your help. Twilight stood incredulous. You want my help? Oh, yes. I don't think there's any pony who would be able to help me like you could. Why? May I come in?
I'd be happy to explain everything.
Twilight seemed to be mulling over the suggestion. Fine, she said begrudgingly. Inside, Fluttershy's initial impressions of the room were largely confirmed. She did, however, notice two things. Firstly, like herself and Pink and Mina, Twilight didn't have a cutie mark. The other thing was the sole evidence in the room of equine habitation. On the desk lay a pair of picture frames. One, a young filly, obviously Twilight herself, was holding a piece of paper and smiling. Behind her was an adult unicorn couple, a blue stallion and a light gray mare and a purple and white striped mane. The other picture showed a slightly older Twilight. She was wearing two large helmets, the helmet of a Royal Guard cadet, and bracing with a hook to keep it from falling off. By her side stood a white-coated older unicorn colt, who, from the looks of things, Fluttershy assumed must be family. She was interrupted by the sound of her throat being cleared. You done yet? If you're finished staring, maybe you can explain what's so important. Only I can help you. Fluttershy told her as best he could, explaining about her life, the sudden appearance of these strange memories, and her travels across Equestria to try and understand them. More than that, she talked about another existence, where she and Twilight and the others, by now the memories are grown enough to give her a fair idea of other Fluttershy's life, all lived happily in Ponyville. 6 inseparable friends, supporting each other all through sorts of crazy adventures. Once he was finished, he said,
So that's my story. Do you understand why I came here to ask you for help?
Oh, I understand all right. There were words Fluttershy made feel better. They did not. Nerdy Twilight Sparkle. Egghead Twilight Sparkle. She doesn't have any friends. She can barely even do magic. She doesn't belong here. Let's tell her some ridiculous story to build her hopes up, and then we can all laugh at her. During Twilight's outbursts, Fluttershy obviously started backing up and crouching. She could have sworn it looked like the edges of the unicorn's manes began to smolder. Twilight didn't let up, advancing. She continued, Well, I don't think it's funny. Why are you here? Who put you up to this? Was it Twiggleside? Who? At this point, Fluttershy was cowering under Twilight's desk, head buried in each of her foreheads and her mane.
No, Pony. No, Pony sent me here. I know it sounds hard to believe, but I wouldn't have never.
She looked up at Twilight, her voice small and sad.
Please.
Twilight's fear melted away, replaced by guilt. Look, I'm sorry. She extended a hand, helping Fluttershy up. You truly believe all that stuff you told me? Fluttershy nodded. So you aren't here to trick me? You're just insane. Well, that's what's better.
Well, what?
What you're talking about is some type of alternate universe. She brought down a clear space on her mattress. When she spoke, her voice sounded resigned. It would be nice if it were true, but it isn't scientifically possible. Your story is not scientifically possible. Whatever help you need, I'm not the pony who can give it to you. Magic aura surrounded the door and swung open. Please, just go. First I tried several times to try and engage Twilight, but the unicorn refused to speak any further. Eventually she gave up and left, surprising several other students who were very nonchalant about their perfectly legitimate reasons for hanging out in the hallway. Back outside, Fluttershy reflected on her situation. She now met all 5 of the ponies she was searching for. The results had been not what she had hoped. Not only was she no closer in understanding her recent experiences, of the 5 ponies still close to other Fluttershy, only Verity seemed interested in even seeing her again. Pygmalion too, perhaps, but only Fluttershy was interested in buying some rocks. She didn't really want any rocks. With no answer so far and no idea where to go next, it was hard to view her pursuit as anything but a substantial failure. What was on her mind when Cloudkicker landed beside her? So, how did it go? Fluttershy told her. Well, I don't even know what to say. I think old ponies at this school are crazy. You know Lyra, the pony that gave you directions? I was talking to her after you left. She's got some interesting theories about some kind of creature called sea ponies. That's not the strangest part, though. I ran into her once before, this time in the Best of Young Flyers competition.
But she's a unicorn, how did she?
I have no idea. Cloudkicker didn't mention the contest, reminded of Fluttershy of a time she wasn't able to come through to her friend.
Sorry my cheering you on wasn't enough for you to win.
Don't be. Like I told you. If my flying was good enough to win, I would have won. Of course, I'm glad you were there to cheer me on. But ultimately, my success or failure was up to me. It isn't you or any pony else's fault I didn't win. Besides, first place out 13's not bad. This was not the time Fluttershy thought back to that day. This time, however, it came with another memory of another Best Young Flyer competition. She had been there, so had Cloudkicker, but everything had been different. And exciting, and ended very dramatically. Fluttershy cheering her friend on to victory. But that friend hadn't been Cloudkicker. She barely registered the memory at all. She thought it gave Fluttershy pause. It was clearer than ever that Cloudkicker wasn't just very important to her other self. Her whole purpose had been trying down Parley Sparkle and the rest of other Fluttershy's friends, because beat down felt important. But once he succeeded, once he managed to befriend these friends for years, but and help brought them together. Cloudkicker had loyally stood by her supporter, not just this, but for years. Was he going to take out a world where none of that happened? Was Cloudkicker essentially helping Fluttershy find her own replacements? Was Fluttershy letting her? She couldn't believe what a horrible pony she was. How could she be so cruel?
I'm sorry, Cloudkicker. I'm so sorry.
Fluttershy broke down in tears.